What up, y'all? Figure we do this live because why not? Why not? It's been a minute since I did a live one on this channel, so I figured let's Saturday Night Live this thing. And I got a secret for you guys. I don't know if I should tell you. Okay, I'll do it. Got a secret. And it was my birthday yesterday. Ooh, yeah, it was. Scorpio season. Scorps represent. Yeah, it was. And so I chilled, I relaxed. I took the day off, and here we are, last year of my 20s. So let's see what I can do with this one. And, go ahead and just give me a like for that. That's what I want for my birthday. Give me a like on this video. Actually, better yet, go to my website, subscribe to my newsletter. That's what I want you to do. I'm trying to funnel everybody into my alternates in case anything happens right here with what we hear is coming down the pipeline with censorship. So yeah, go sub to the alternates, man. Appreciate that. And on that same note, I finally passed 200,000 subs on this channel. About time. Long time coming for that, man. 200,000 strong. Illusion destroyers, man. Probably would have happened a lot sooner if they didn't terminate this channel twice, and I wasn't able to use this for like 3 or 4 months, and with all the shadow banning and all that stuff. So should have happened a long time ago, but we're finally there. Somehow YouTube is still letting some people subscribe to this channel. So anyway, big thank you, huge thank you to all of you subbed here, old subscribers and new subscribers. I still get messages from people. They're like, "Oh, Jordan, I found you during the whiteboard days. I found you before the whiteboard days," and much appreciated to them as much as everybody new following along the journey here. Much appreciated, If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. And I absolutely love this position I'm in. I wouldn't have quit everything I was doing 3 years ago, unless I wanted to do it. And you allow me to continue spreading the message as well. It's you guys that really watch the info, share the info, and then getting the information out there as well as I am. So everybody, pat yourselves on the back. There you go. All right, man. So what do we have to catch up on over the last few days? I want to talk about, just briefly, those impeachment inquiries, whatever the heck went on with that. That was just an absolute snore fest and a mess. So I won't spend too much time on it. That can often be just like political stuff to me, but it's good. It's necessary just to get the raw facts on it and talk about it a little bit. We'll go through the last couple of days of Q, and then I want to touch on a vaccine protest that happened in D.C. as well, along with some mainstream media articles we're getting about UFOs. Quite a few over the last few days as well. So let's get into it here. One thing, though, before we begin, word up to a sponsor helping me bring you these sorts of videos. That's NOBLEGOLD, helping you invest your money into precious metals like gold and silver. You can invest, but they also have a lot of just awesome gold and silver presses that they mint. American flag in silver. They have some really old coins as well that you can get from like the 1800s. It's 99.9% silver as well. They have a commemorative Donald Trump coin as well. I can't really focus the coin, but you can go check it out on the website. You get $5 off with a promo code as well. Links and all that will be below. Let me tell you, on that note as well, $40 invested into some precious metal now will be worth a lot more in a few years than $40 in your savings account will be. So strategize with that, things to think about. So let's get into the impeachment mess. And I don't even know these people's names, quite honestly, but they're just appearing in front of the House committee for these second day now of these impeachment inquiries, and it's a shit show. I mean, these people don't even know, they can't even say anything that Donald Trump has done criminal. They're like, no, I don't know, I just heard it from somebody who heard it from them, and their source was the New York Times, and it's a mess. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it, other than saying Adam Schiff is just an absolute shithead. Like, thankfully, they put Jim Jordan on that panel for him to be able to spit raw facts in front of Adam Schiff's face up there. And one thing I do want to mention, though, is the callers on C-SPAN. I don't know if you've seen this. I'm going to link these down below. We got some people that called into C-SPAN while they were live streaming these impeachment inquiries, right? And the first one I'll show you was somebody who mentioned Epstein didn't kill himself, which, big surprise there, but This stuff's just everywhere. Everybody's a conspiracy theorist these days. That's the cool thing to be, right? So Epstein didn't kill himself. Getting on C-SPAN, somebody called in and was just like, yeah, I got one question for this inquiry. Do you think Epstein killed himself? It's funny. Second one's even better. Second one, somebody called into C-SPAN and told the person there, told everybody, I guess, listening, to watch Joe M's video. Go to YouTube. Type in Joe M, watch his video, Q, plan to save the world. Have a good day. Click. Ah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This is just excellent. Excellent. All right? And then one more thing, and then we'll get into Q's drops and decode those. I'll give you my thoughts on that. Jimmy Kimmel. How about this? Jimmy Kimmel did a skit the other night to make fun of this MAGA challenge after Donald Trump tweeted that he's going to be holding he's going to be gathering people at the White House and choosing the winners of the MAGA challenge to perform there. So, of course, the dumbasses in the mainstream media, they having a field day with it, as Jimmy Kimmel was here. He did a skit on it to make fun of it, but check it out. About 30 seconds in, oh, who's that? Yeah, that's your boy. And there's a cue in the background there, too. Got that on Jimmy Kimmel. But totally, they put a quick clip of me in there, and I saw this. I was like, oh, man. And then I listened to it, and the line they used, totally cherry-picked it. So the line they used, I'll tell it to you here. It was the very first line of the rap. I don't know if you've seen it. I posted it on Twitter. I'll post it below. Very first line I said, shout out to my boy Bryson, who made the beat and made the original MAGA challenge. Shout out to my boy Bryson for the track. Man, you black, but you wear your MAGA hat. What is that? That's the clip they use. Cut! Right there. Cherry picked. For the audience, of course, you know. The next line was, if I can remember it here, got it. That's what we call originality. A great awakening is what we need in our mentality. A change in personality. So he kept going, got a lot better. Oh, of course they're not going to show that on Jimmy Kimmel's primetime show. Of course. But you know what I think? I hope, I'm like, that'd be neat, but getting an invite to the White House. Why don't I tell it to the world? What did I really say? Ha, if only, I'm hoping, man. Let's hashtag that. Let Jordan rap. Send him to the White House. Anyway, moving on. Let's get into Q now. So Q's drops. I'm going to start here with November 14th. So we're going to catch up with the last couple of days. And I want to highlight this one because it basically outlines what I think we're going to start seeing with FISA-gate begin to unfold. Might be a hint of what we're going to see in the upcoming Inspector General report. So quick note, Attorney General Barr says Inspector General's report on alleged FISA abuses is, quote, imminent. Now, I know a lot of people, they're going to groan, roll their eyes, say, oh yeah, we've been hearing imminent for a long, long time. But just, put that in conjunction with everything else we're seeing now. I think imminent means imminent in this case, folks. So Attorney General Barr is telling us it's imminent. Probably why Q is highlighting this, just because of what's about to unfold here. And it says, UK, Australia, Italy, and the UK cooperating with DOJ, Barr, Durham, and others classified 1 through 4. Maybe that means there's like 4 more prosecutors, stealth bombers around or something like that. But I think this means that foreign countries are beginning to cooperate with our DOJ, with human intelligence, human signals intelligence, SIGINT, etc. And then non-Five Eye official channels. I think this is what we're going to see with FISA-gate, basically what happened. Non-Five Eyes official channels, U.S. senior persons are required, given the sensitive nature of the targets, those targets being Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, presidential nominees, basically saying a senior person had to give the green light for this. Who gave the orders? Senior person. Looking at you, Obama. Looking at you, Brennan. People like that, right? Who signed those top-level folks. Papered per normal national security. I'd guess probably not, since they're doing all this FISA stuff illegally. Communications to and from foreign and domestic. F to F, I think that means face-to-face, 1 through 4 persons initiate the scope memo. So there had to be some contact to initiate all this illegal wiretapping. U.S. ambassadors 1 and 2. NSA unmasking requests. NSA, U.S. ambassadors 1 and 2. Australia, Italy, UK. Then we get into talking about the CIA, okay? So the CIA, domestic assist with rogue FBI to avoid U.S. laws. CIA, human intelligence, domestic placement, which I don't think is supposed to happen. Foreign intelligence service, but they're doing domestic operations here. T campaign, I think that means target campaign. They targeted White House, tried to insert spies there. National security, personal advisors, cabinet, etc. That's where they were trying to insert their spies. CIA is organized under the DNI, Department of National Intelligence, from 2010 to 2017. That was headed by Big Bad Baldy James Clapper. And from 2017 to 19, that was Dan Coates. Remember, Dan Coates is out now. That had to happen. C before D. Remember, before FISA dump. So there you go. That might be what we're seeing coming up short in this IG report. This next one. Q is saying that the deep state's falling into a trap. What advantages might exist when you know the other side's playbook? Let me see if I can get this wording a little better for you guys. Q then gives a link to a Merriam-Webster definition of trap. That's it. It's a trap. Enjoy the show. It's exactly what the deep state's walking into. And in fact, with the idea of patriots in control, like they're in control. So that's why oftentimes when I see stuff blowing up in the mainstream media that might look initially like it's directed at Trump, I'm like, this is probably some chess warfare stuff to, make it look like it's going at Trump, but in time it's just going to turn right back around and the exact same stuff is going to be exposed on the deep state's end. So it's all a trap. Maybe this whole Ukrainian thing, these impeachment inquiries are a total trap just to make it go nowhere, let them continuously expose themselves. Next drop is Q reminding us that they told us about JS and SC, John Solomon and Sarah Carter, being under surveillance long time ago. This tweet right here that Q links is an individual, Elanockle, if I'm getting that right, on Twitter, made this graphic. And do you believe in coincidences? So on, when was this? We have 8th of July, 2019, surveillance of SC and JS terminated. So a few months ago, Q told us that. We got confirmation from Tom Fitton here saying that all these people were under monitoring by ousted Obama holdover ambassador to Ukraine. Boom, you got Sarah Carter, John Solomon right on there. It's confirmed by Tom Fitton, told us by Q a while ago. That's why in this drop right here, Q's saying again, do you believe in coincidences? The mathematical impossibility of these things. Easy to connect the dots and find out Q's legit. That's why they're being attacked by largest media companies in the world, because they're not a LARP. Logical thinking. Next drop. Q linking Stormy Patriot. I think this is like the second time in just a few days, man. Shout out to Stormy Patriot Joe. But anyway, he noticed that back on the 4th of March in 2018, a full over year and a half ago, Q gave us some clues. Mission 8, whistleblower traps. Whistleblower traps. Wow, year and a half ago. Q is giving us those hints. Of course, they're so vague. We have no idea at the time. They can't mess up the future proofs past thing by telling us. That'd mess up the plans. But they can hint. And then later on, we learn what the hints were and go, oh my gosh, Q's not a LARP. Over and over and over again with each Q proof. Q saying trap, keyword, select. It was selectively provided. You have more than you know. Future proofs past. And then these drops from today, getting into it here. The harvest crop has been prepared and soon will be delivered to the public for consumption. Now, in drops around July, August, that was a symbolic theme of the Q's drops, was talking about corn, talking about a harvest, because metaphorically, especially in terms of farming and cropping, the CIA training facility is called the farm. And when it comes to farming corn in particular, the harvest is usually in the fall. So they're using a lot of, code speak here. The harvest crop has been prepared. Soon it'll drop. A higher loyalty, and then we get a Y in brackets. Now I'm going to jump to a Comey tweet that he laid today. James Comey. This is it right here. He, at 5:30 p.m., or excuse me, this was last night, Q's responding today. We get a Y in brackets. You can't promote principled anti-corruption action without pissing off corrupt people. He's quoting George Kent, Deputy Assistant Secretary of State. So, classic projection, you know. The corrupt people are calling the anti-corrupt people the corrupt people to, you see what I'm saying. But Q responding today this morning with that Y in brackets. So it's probably to James Comey there. Hunters become the hunted. Treason, sedition. That's what all these folks are involved in. How do you remove a liability? 6 o'clock can be dangerous. 6 o'clock meaning check your 6 behind you. I think Q's saying here, if you come up behind your enemy, that's how you're most dangerous, i.e. stealth bomber metaphors, i.e. things like that. Family proud. And my best guess on that one is that family like these deep state folk and their cults and their secret societies, you know, they're in their families. And family proud, maybe. That's my best guess. Next drop here. For those who decide to save taxpayers some money, there's no escaping God. There's no escaping the light and the truth. Just give up, man. That's all Q's saying. Just give up. Just turn yourself in or just take yourself out. Do what's necessary, you know. You can't escape it. Next drop. Second to last one. Q saying, many who, quote, represent us do not love us. And linking a tweet. This tweet is to a video of Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. And Michelle Obama, during a 9/11 ceremony, looks like the 10-year ceremony there, Michelle Obama turns to Barack, says, all this for a damn flag. Many who do not, quote, represent us do not love us. And then this last one here, Q gives us, this was interesting. So this is Q basically giving us a hint as to how these deep staters are communicating with each other, especially given that the NSA is now in good guy hands and they're having the bad guys are having a real tough time trying to figure out how to send information to each other because everything's so monitored around them. But Q gives us a link to StarWars.com, their new game called Star Wars Commander. Or I don't know how new it is, but it's a online game, Star Wars Commander. Q saying, how do select bad actors attempt communications without signals intelligence collection? Rebellion or Empire? Who do you think they chose when they're playing this game just to talk to each other? Private, invite only factions. They probably make the little rooms private and they just invite themselves in so they can talk to each other, dark to light. And you remember a little ways back when Q was dropping about Xbox Live, that's how they communicate, Xbox Live, and then just a few hours later, Xbox Live went down. So I bet the folks at StarWars.com are doing some scrubbing of some databases right now. But anyway, that's all we have in terms of Q for the last couple of days there. And again, FISA imminent. I would think imminent. Within a couple of weeks, we're hearing maybe before Thanksgiving. Could be in December here, but I think 2019. I think 2019 is going to be good here for that. So that's why, number one, see something, say something. Eyes open. Be aware of your surroundings. You know why I'm saying that. Number two, of course, be aware for all the propaganda, everything they're going to try to throw at us to distract us, whether that's crazy stories, quote, half-truth disclosures of things like UFOs and stuff in the mainstream media, or trying to get ahead of any story. For instance, the Washington Post, the New York Times will run some piece on FISA, but it'll have things twisted to get ahead of the story. A lot of things to look out for, man. A lot of things. So last few things I want to touch on here is that UFO topic. I'll get to that. But first, I want to touch on vaccines. So, number one, huge vaccine push right now. CDC trying to urge everybody to get that freaking flu shot. And damn, every big box store you go to will give you a free gift card just to get a flu shot. They're begging you to do it. Germany even just made vaccines mandatory. So there'll be a huge mandatory vaccine push as well. There was a rally. There was a protest. Let's call it that. A protest in Washington, D.C. just a few days ago against, I don't want to say against vaccines, but let's say for vaccine truth. And it was a big rally. You can see, here's a photograph of it. Shout out to the person who was there to cover it. And you can see hundreds of people there. And this is exactly what we need to do. I'd love to see it. People awake, aware, organized. So that's great stuff. And touching moment during this particular rally, they had mothers, they had fathers, they had parents hold up pictures of their vaccine-injured children. Very touching. You can see here, a lot of people were there to do that. So, a lot of, I will talk about every single thing that needs to be talked about. Every single thing that needs to be said, I'll say it. We all need to. We all need to about all these topics because they're all connected in some way, shape, or form. And there's so many different truths out there that we need to understand to literally liberate our minds and bodies. So there you go. And then last thing is UFOs. So I have 3 articles here on that, and then I'll leave you. Number 1, Popular Mechanics. A couple of days ago. Popular Mechanics, the witnesses. And they're here running a story on the witnesses of the Nimitz incident. You know, those videos that the New York Times released in December of 2017. It's like been the only damn UFO video that you'll ever see on the mainstream media, especially over the last couple of years. And it's like all they care about. It's just, oh, this video, let's look into this incident. Here's these witnesses. And they're just like repackaging all this stuff. This is so like 30 years ago, witnesses and UFO sightings. If you really don't even need to try hard, you can try easily and find all sorts of UFO videos and stuff on the internet that, I mean, they are legit. They look totally legit. And a lot of CGI ones out there, of course, but there are real ones. And yeah, man, so they're just repackaging this stuff, recycling it to try to, again, distract us, divert attention away from other more important things. But number 2, insert their gatekeepers. Oh, they need their disclosure gatekeepers right now. They're desperate for them because things like Q and things like all these alternative journalists out there and, you know, all this stuff going on, totally destroying so much controlled independent media right now. So that's on the board. Number 2, more UFO distractions. Bob Lazar. A couple quick words on him. I could have a lot of words on this, but a couple quick words. It's not so much about Bob Lazar. You know, I could believe some of the claims that he's been discussing. I'm not putting the believability or the probability of them outside the realm of possibility, but it's the big picture. It's the people around him. It's connections. It's seeing where his information is being put and who's selectively putting it there and the motivations behind it. So I'll just go through the list. You know, number 1, spot in Vice. Vice is absolutely just terrible media, you know, completely fake. So things like spots in Vice, things like spots on Joe Rogan. How many people that end up on Joe Rogan are like connected to the CIA or were ex-CIA in some way, shape, or form in the past, especially in terms of UFOs? So Joe Rogan featured Netflix documentary, and trust me, you don't get a documentary on Netflix if you shake the bush too much, shake the tree too much. There's that. There's just all these questions, man, and the filmmakers around him and the journalists around him, and it's weird. It's weird to me. So be careful, you know, be careful with that, guys. And then last article here, another one from Vice. Big surprise. UFO researcher explains why she sold exotic metal to Tom DeLonge. And that UFO researcher is Linda Moulton Howe. So I guess it's official now. Linda Moulton Howe sold Tom DeLonge this, quote, exotic metal that allegedly comes from a crashed and retrieved UFO craft that I guess Art Bell and Linda Moulton Howe had for the last, 20-some years. And now I guess Linda Moulton Howe decides to sell it to Tom DeLonge. So again, man, just like all these weird connections, the bigger picture, the motivations, the willingness for people to get so caught up in the UFO narratives because they want disclosure so bad, but they don't realize there's all this other stuff going on over here that might not be UFOs. It might be having to do with UFOs in space, but it might not be. And that's just as important too. And what are they trying to distract you from, right? So I don't know. I guess Tom DeLonge emailing with John Podesta a few years ago and being connected to a lot of like ex-CIA guys and ex-Lockheed guys and just, I guess that's not enough to deter her from selling Tom D the alien metal. Just saying, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that. Anything John Podesta gets his fingers on, I ain't touching. That is scarred for life. So, yeah, man, just basic questions. Logical thinking, everybody. That's all I'm trying to help you do here. So thank you again. Thank you, 200,000 of you plus now. Subscribe to this channel. Much appreciated, all you guys super chatting me this whole time. Love you all. And I'll be back. Got a video dropping tomorrow. More coming up. See you soon, everybody. Take care.